right, we are back again. I am Mr. J. This is the Underground Experience. Tonight we have Fat. Of course, we had another individual scheduled. Of course, we always have some things going on, so we had to pivot. As always, you can go to www.empiremusic.com. Go ahead and get to be a part of the funder as well as to be able to have your music advertised on the radio show with one of our many radio partners. Um, we're getting ready to have Fat come in just a second. Uh, Everybody can check out the merch on the website, uh, as well as the music uh, this week on WDRB. We will have our Focus Friday, um, and many other radio partners will have some Focus Fridays or focused episodes coming up in the near future. Of course, we want to say RIP to the DJ from Compton's Most Wanted, as we show proper respect to our OGs and artists who have paved the way for a lot of us. So we are just waiting for Fat to be able to get in. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Um, we'll work on getting him in.
Oh man, come on.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You have some issues with your picture?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the dang camera. Let me close out the app and come back.
All right, no
All right.
problem. As we get that together. Of course, if you want to be a part of the show, uh, as we are recording for multiple radio partners and we continue to try to grow the show, um, you can check out the website or email nccceo at Yahoo to get your chance to be on the show, as well as uh, to request some information about promo for your projects. Um, so we'll have Fat on in just a second. Of course, we have multiple people coming up soon in the coming months. You definitely want to be a part of this show as well as many of our radio partner shows. Uh, we have Pure Vibes FM, um, which is on the weekends. Uh, and we have, Pure Vibes FM, which is on Tuesday, airs on Tuesday. Uh, Hot 365, which airs uh, on Saturday, and our newest partner, Crooked Eyed Radio, which will be airing this show uh, sometime tonight, and also the WDRB Radio, which will be airing the show on 8:50, excuse me, 8:45 on a Friday. So we are working to get Fat back on, and hopefully we'll have him work out of his work out his things here, technical difficulties. I'm trying to see if we can get him back in just a second. We have some things going on. We also have the passing of editor of the Hip Hop Bible, uh, James Bernard, that has passed recently. So we would like to have our condolences to him as well. And as we said earlier at the top of the show, DJ Mike T of Compton's Most Wanted um, has passed away, and we send our condolences to him and his family. We are hoping to get Fat back in here in just a second. We're working out some issues.
There
All
we
right,
go.
all right. There we go. We got
Thank
Fat in the
you.
building. Um, so how's everything going?
It's going good now that we got the technical difficulties taken care of. Can you hear me good? Am I too loud, too
Yeah,
quiet?
yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Okay, cool,
Everything's
cool.
good.
But yeah, now that we got that taken care of, we good to go.
Okay,
Seems like it's always something.
for those who hadn't seen the show recently or hadn't been following it, give them your little bit of your background and how you got started, and just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to shout out AMN Pro Beats and Bombs Boxer for being in here. Those are two of my people. I think they're already familiar with my backstory. But, born and raised Greensboro, North Carolina. Started writing rhymes kind of like my journal. I was 10 years old. I ain't really had nobody to talk to about, things that I was going through, things that I was thinking, things that I was feeling, changes in my, life, mentality, body, emotions, all that stuff. And, when you're 10 years old, you might not feel like somebody going to listen to you. So I wrote
Right.
it down, you know what I mean? Hit the notebook.
And so, what have you been up to since we last spoke? You got different
Um,
shows and different things coming together, and
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time we spoke, but I know since then, um, and it might have, I want to say it was back in like early last year, last time we spoke, like mid last year. But I know the biggest thing for me that was probably like the most exciting was my birthday bash at the top of last month or like mid last month at ETC. Had a great turnout. It was a great time. It was high energy. Had awesome artists come through and perform. I mean, it was just love all night. You know what I mean? So big up to everybody that came out to that. That's probably the biggest thing. Other than that, it was all music. I dropped four, 3 or 4 EPs last year. I dropped the album last year. Had a few joint collab singles. You know, I'm always putting in the work. But since then, especially really starting towards the end of last year and coming into this year, I'm doing a rebrand. Like I'm gonna just cut straight to the chase. I'm doing a rebrand. I'm changing the name. I'm changing the logo. I'm changing the message will pretty much stay the same. The music, as far as like the bars, will stay the same. But I'm working on quality. I'm working on um, mix, master, better writing. To be real, like I'm good at writing, but I'm focusing more on like songwriting now to like staying on topic,
Right.
um, getting more in depth with the lyrics rather than just kind of like surface level lyrics. I pay attention to the feedback. I pay attention to what I get from people, and so a lot of what I was getting, and to be totally honest, a lot of what I was getting is the music straight, like the lyrics and the bars and everything is good, but the mix is trash. Like people were literally
Okay.
saying like the mix is trash. Like you killing it on the bars and the song
Right.
is entertaining, but the mix is trash. So that's one thing I'm really going back to. Really taking it back to basics, getting the drawing board and really focusing back on the music again.
So is that to kind of drill down a little bit more? What is that? What kind of prompted the rebrand? Is kind of feedback and
So what ultimately prompted the rebrand is actually a good question. What ultimately prompted the rebrand, I've been thinking about it for a while. Just because when I first picked the Fat Boy as a name, it was a lot less common. Like this was like 15 years ago, 20 years ago,
Mhm.
maybe even. And it was just a lot less common. Everybody wasn't cool with being fat. There wasn't Fat Trail, and like you had certain people that was there, like the Fat Boys was a group prior to that, but it had
Mhm.
been up until then. It had been decades since they had done it. And, it had been a long time since they had done anything. So I picked the name at that time, but over the years, more and more people have picked up Fat Boy. So now when you go to Google and you type in just the Fat Boy. People will leave off the D. You type in Fat Boy, you're gonna get Fat Boy SSE. You're gonna get Fat Boy ice cream bar. You're gonna get Fat Boy Harley Davidson motorcycle. You're gonna get a Fat Boy burger
Yeah.
joint. You're gonna get a Fat Boy bar somewhere. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, and that went on for a little while, but I kind of let it ride. You know what I mean? But last year, the end of last year, what really set me off on like, yo, I need to make a change. I had maybe about 6 different people hit me up and be like, yo, I discovered you on TikTok or I saw you on YouTube, but I couldn't find the rest of your music when I went to search you up. You know what I mean? Or I couldn't find your website. Like I couldn't find anything because I type in the Fat Boy or Fat Boy and a whole bunch of other stuff come up. And you know how it is. People don't have attention spans. They're not gonna dig
Yeah.
around for it. If it don't pop up in that first
Second. Yeah.
page. Yeah. So I was like, I got to make a change. You know what I mean? Because it had already started to become a problem, but then it's gotten a lot worse. And people started bringing it to my attention that how worse it had gotten. Because now I'm like, yo, how many people saw me on Instagram and went to Google, typed in, okay, Fat Boy, the Fat Boy, you know what I mean, whatever, and didn't find me, and they gave up and just never came back. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yo, I wonder how many opportunities I missed. I wonder how many shows I missed, how many, just
Yeah.
chances that I missed. So I'm like, I can't let it ride no more.
Definitely. Um, do you feel like that's going to kind of clear some things up and even open some more doors?
I do, but I do feel like there's gonna be a confusion period at first. You know what I mean? Because I have been the fat boy so long. Like when I first came on, and you called me fat, and like I have other people that are like my email list, Grit Gang. I actually told them about this like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and so they kind of are a little bit more familiar, just a little bit. but they still trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out too. But I feel like that's gonna be like probably the beginning parts of it is me really. That's kind of why I agreed to do this interview because I know it's gonna be me explaining it, breaking it down, and then just reminding people like it ain't fat no more. It ain't the fat boy no more. I'm not the fat boy no more. I'm the fat boy. Like I'm gonna leave all my stuff up probably, but it ain't gonna be active. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So what's the grand reveal of the new moniker?
So I'm glad you asked. You're asking all the right questions. So the new moniker I'm going with is Chris Gristle. That's the name I'm going with. Now, I originally got it. Admittedly, I originally got it from an episode of Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my son walk around the house parroting this episode of Family Guy, and it's comical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got to thinking about it. First of all, my real name is Chris. You know what I mean? That's like my real first name. So I was like, I'm trying to be. I ain't gonna say trying to be. I'm looking to be a little more authentic, a little more, just real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was another thing about the Fat Boy. I'm not gonna say it was a facade or it was fake, but like there was a certain level of like performance in there. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? There was a certain level of you got to be this guy when the cameras are on, or you got to be this guy on the interviews or whatever, whatever. So I'm trying to. I really want to get to the point where I can just be me, and if you don't like it, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, the gristle part. And I had to explain this to my mom just the other day because, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's real, 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 real new. So I know I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to really explain it. So the gristle part comes from because one is connective tissue, so it's like the cartilage that'll come, in joints. Um, and then two, it's tough to swallow and chew and digest. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I feel like that describes me well. I'm good at connecting people. I'm good at bringing people together. I'm good at making connections. But I'm not always the easiest person to deal with. You know what I mean? Like I like stuff my way, and that's just how it is. And I'm tired of pretending like it ain't like that. You know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? Appreciate it, boxer. Appreciate that. So yeah, Chris Gristle, you know what I mean? And if you're watching this, I already got a Instagram up, Chris.Gristle. I already got a YouTube, Chris.Gristle. I already got a Facebook, Chris.Gristle. So go ahead and follow me up if you're watching this. Because I need to, I'm trying to get all my people to go ahead and move over there. And to be
Mm-hmm.
honest, the people that ain't paying attention, that just been kind of will doing me for the past few years, they gonna stay on I'm the Fat Boy and probably not even realize what's going on, and that's gonna be just fine because then me and my people gonna be on the other side eating. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Um, uh, I don't know if we touched on just putting those shows together because I was definitely impressed by the online shows that you were putting together, and that was definitely something innovative that I don't think a lot of other artists were doing. Um, can you go in depth on how you kind of putting that together and kind
Yeah,
of how
that's
how the thought process came together?
that's perfect. These segues are perfect, man. So I'm actually gonna be bringing those back. Um, and that was originally called Jam Online Concert, and that was really just me in my living room. Like it started out in Durham with DJ R&B. You know what I mean? During COVID, everything shut down. I already had a show lined up. I seen him online, and he was like, "Yo, I'm doing house shows, and we live streaming it for the artists." So I'm not gonna act like I came up with the idea, because I
Mm-hmm.
first seen DJ R&B at a Raleigh doing it. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, yo, that's a good idea. So I got with him and, I did a few of them with him. But then I wanted to, Chris Gristle, keeping it real, I couldn't afford to keep paying bro to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, I also didn't want to like have to travel every single time to do a live show. I feel like that defeated the purpose of a live stream. You kind of want to do that without
Yeah.
having to travel, rent a venue, rent a space, whatever, whatever. Shout out Snug Life for coming in. And so I was like, well, what can I do? So at first I think I rented out a venue one or two times for it. And that didn't go so great, to be honest with you. And then I was like, well, I don't want to keep blowing money on the venue just to do a live stream. You know what I mean? I was like, where else can I have it at? And I got a whole fucking 2 bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I could just do it in my living room. So I really just set up in my living room. And when I say I set up in my living room, I'm talking quick and dirty for anybody watching this. Like, how can I do a live stream in my get some like black sheets or white sheets big enough to cover a whole wall in your living room, right? Get you some cool lights, and they pretty affordable now. You can jump on Amazon and get you some, cool little basic stage lights. They don't got to be expensive. Yeah, you could probably get them off Temu. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't got to be expensive because you're not transporting them. You're not putting on like no arena show. You know what I mean? It's just a cool little show in your living room. Set your phone up on a good stable tripod, get you a good microphone, and fucking rock out. You know what I mean? And that's just quick and dirty. Like anybody can do that. You know what I mean? You could take some thumbtacks and tack up a sheet just to have a black background so it don't look crazy in your background. You know what I mean? And some good lights. Get some good lights on you so people can see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And really, it's just signing on to YouTube and letting it go after that. Now, I'm looking to improve because I did the basic way for a while, and now I'm looking to upgrade it. And I don't want to go too in depth into that because, again, I feel like I got some innovative ideas that I have not seen any other artists doing, and I don't want to give them away. But I am looking for ways to be more interactive. I think that's another thing about Chris Gristle. I'm trying to reach across the aisle more, deal with the people, talk to the people rather than just blast out my music. Yo, y'all check out da 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 da. Like really give people a space and an ecosystem to come and talk and enjoy and not even to center me, not even to be like, yo, we here all for the fat boy all the time, 24, you know what I mean? But or all for
Right.
Chris Gristle all the time. But it's more like, we here, like we all share common interests. Maybe I might be like the reason everybody showed up in the first place, but then these people over here, they like anime. So now they got a whole conversation going on. They ain't got nothing to do with me and my music, but they now are connecting. And that's the Gristle part again, the connection. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's what I'm going for with the live streams now. I'm definitely going to bring them back. I'm probably going to be a little more stable with what artists I use, just because I've kind of found a little stable of artists that I know is going to show up, show out, bring their people, promote. You know what I mean? And you know how hard it is to get people to get involved. So,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm at with that. You know what I mean? So if you was listening, go ahead and tack your sheet up. I'm trying to improve it too to where I don't have to keep changing it because me and my peoples will be in there setting it up the night before, and I'm up at like 3 o'clock in the morning tacking sheets up and stuff. So I'm trying to come up with a system to where I can just kind of convert instead of like putting everything back together again every time.
Yeah.
It is always about the music. Shout out AMN, you're right. It's always about the music, and that's another reason I'm trying to bring it back to the music because I've strayed a lot from the music. Like it's gotten to the point where I'll like record once or twice a month and then spend the whole rest of the time social media, setting up shows, setting up podcasts, doing interviews, you know what I mean, trying to sell CDs, optimizing the website, posting statuses, you know what I mean? And I'm trying
Right.
to get back to the creativity, you know what I mean?
Well, it's definitely, um, I think, getting back to hand to hand and really kind of
Mm-hmm.
tapping back in with people. You know,
For sure.
social media is a decent marketing tool, but
Right.
we starting to see, hey, we got to touch the people again.
Right.
We're coming out of that era where everybody's scared to go everywhere because of COVID or whatever. You know, got to kind of get back into community because that's
Right.
that's how people are going to survive. Um,
Right.
so from those shows, did you see a lot more investment into what you were doing and a lot more kind of in I guess interaction?
Um, so interaction, yes. You know what I mean? The reason I want to keep doing them is because I found that the live streams are good for attracting like new random people. You know what I mean? That are just kind of like scrolling through, and like YouTube will show you the live on your feed or whatever, and people will tap in. So And I feel like that's a good way to catch new people. And then I also feel like it's a good way to solidify with people that aren't in town. You know what I mean? Like I can do a show in Greensboro and people from Greensboro, Winston, High Point can come, but somebody in Sweden, somebody in Atlanta, somebody in, Greece,
Yeah.
somebody in Finland, they can't show up to the show. So if I put on a live stream, that gives them the opportunity to tap in and be like, okay, I get to see the fat boy. I'm sorry. See, even I'm still getting used to it. but but
Having an identity crisis.
right. And so it's a chance for them to see Chris Gristle live and perform, even if they can't make it to a show. And I feel like it's good. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm looking to monetize that this year. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing it free the whole time.
Yeah.
Except one time when I did do like dollar tickets for a stream. So shout out Bounce Boxer for that. Because I remember he came through for that one and we had technical difficulties and we didn't get to do the show, but he was a real good sport about it, so I definitely got to shout him out for that. He's been sticking around. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely looking to improve. I'm looking to upgrade. I'm looking to monetize. So since I'm looking to monetize, I'm looking to get the production value up. I want it to be worth somebody paying even $1 for it. You
Right.
know.
And I guess will you have kind of the set prices, or will you kind of do the Russell model?
I've been having luck with the Russell model. I ain't even gonna front. Like I had never thought of that before, and I'm glad you said LaRussell because that's when I first heard it. I was like, dang, I ain't never. I mean, I had seen it on Bandcamp, but not really. It won't.
Yeah.
He was the one that really brought it out. And shout out to you, Boxer. And he, once he came out with that, I was like, let me try it. You know what I mean? Let me try it at some of my shows or whatever, whatever. And especially at the last show. The last show was where it really shined because I really just was like, you can get tickets for as low as $1. You know what I mean? And that's just it. There ain't no catch. I mean, there's gonna be tax. I can't control
Right.
that. You gotta talk to Trump and them about that. but other than that, it's a digital ticket. We put you on the guest list. So even if we prefer for you to have your ticket so we can scan it and everything. But even if you happen to lose it or you can't find your email, we got you on the guest list. Bring your ID. But,
Mhm.
giving people the option, I found with music and with the tickets, giving people the option to kind of pay what they want. Like if you got $1, you can pay $1. If you got $10, $20, people most of the time, I think only maybe one or two people at the last event, and we had maybe like 100 people show up. Somewhere around there. I know the venue only holds so much and we had it packed. And um I think only like 2 or 3 people paid $1 or $2. Everybody else started at 5, 10. A couple people paid like 20. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the same thing with the music. I have my music up on Bandcamp and you can get it for an email address. You can go get my whole catalog for an email address on Bandcamp right now, but that's a whole separate catalog. That's unreleased music. That's like my secret EP stash, stuff that ain't on Spotify, unreleased stuff.
Yeah.
But you can go get that whole catalog for an email address. But I've had people go and they'll get one EP for $20. They'll get one mixtape or whatever for $10, and you could get it again. You could get it for an email, you could get it for $1, you could get it for $1,000,000. But I've learned that like giving people that option, you keep from pricing out the people that can't afford it. Like somebody might not have even $1 for your EP, but they might still want to hear it. You know what I mean? They might not have $5, $10, whatever for your EP, but they still might fuck with you. They still might rock with you and want to hear it. But at the same time, there's some people that do have it. There's some people, they got paid or they just got it like that and $10, $20 to support an upcoming artist. Yeah, I can do that. That's cool. I like the music, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. And so I've had luck with that LaRussell model, and I'm gonna keep doing it until it stops working. But I've been suggesting it to other artists too, man, because it also takes a lot of the pressure off of being a salesman. Like you ain't got a hard sell, you ain't got to pressure people. Just where we got tickets as low as $1. Shout out Slim Cooking. We got tickets as low as $1, and somebody might, bro, I got $1. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to come to the show. Let me, and but to be honest, I was telling somebody else that the last event, when the event started, we had only sold 8 tickets before that online, and
Hmm.
so everybody else showed up at the door. You know what I mean? And paid their money at the door. So I'm gonna keep rocking with it. I'm gonna keep rocking with it. I had a good time. It's been working out. And not a lot of stuff works. So, but
Yeah.
this is the work. I'm gonna rock with it. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Like I would like to do it for my merch, but the merch just come with like a set overhead. You know what I mean? Like to produce the
Exactly.
merch, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't really charge $1 because then the place that make it gonna charge me still, whatever it is to produce it. So then I'm gonna still be out. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out though. I like giving people the option. It gives people the chance to make their choices.
And I think if people don't feel that pressure or feel like they get beat over the head, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
They kind of step into something and they're like, okay, I can, freely support this
Yep.
artist, this person, and support what they're doing.
Exactly. It takes a lot of the barriers away. You know what I mean? And then if you're an entrepreneurial artist, once they in the door, you could always have merch or little activities or games that people could buy into or something like that. Food that people could buy, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
at base level, honestly, I just want people to show up and have a good time. So if you got $1 and you got some friends, you know what I mean?
Right.
Y'all all put y'all money together, come up with a little $5 between the five of y'all or whatever the case may be, and pull up and have a good time. Even if you don't buy no merch, I would like for you to buy some merch. You know what I mean? But if you don't, I'm not gonna hate you for it. I'm just glad you came. You know. While we here though, I have changed the name from Jam Online Concert, and I'm changing this name to all of my events. And it's Gristleland. That's what we. Gristleland is the new location. You know what I mean? Even my
Okay.
website about to change. So Gristleland. We bringing y'all to the underground.
Definitely. Um, so what is it, you know, what are some of the other goals that you want to try to knock out this year?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. So, one of the big ones, I want to change my content style and my content strategy. Mainly switching from consistent content, just posting just to be posting, just so people stay at the top of mind, so you stay at the top of people's feeds, so people don't forget about you, to intentional posting. If you're gonna forget about me, you're gonna forget about me even if I'm at the top of your feed. So I'm gonna go ahead and cater to Slim Cooking and AMN Pro Beats and Bombs Boxers, and I'm gonna make sure that I put out content that's potent for them. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? It ain't about everybody. If you ain't paying attention and you ain't signed up, you're not gonna get it. And it's not up to me to convince you no more. You know what I mean? It is what it is. And so, with that being said, I'm starting to go top down with the content. So it used to be like short form content. Let me just set my camera up, wrap in the camera so I can have something to put up. But now, instead of going short form and then trying to turn it into a music video or a compilation or something like that, I'm working on a short film that kind of gives you the transition from fat to gristle in the short film, but it'll also be, I'm working on an album too, and the album will be the soundtrack for the short film. So it's
Okay.
all combined together, and then I'll take that stuff and break that down into social media content. I mean, at this point, they got little like AI clippers where they can take a long video and chop down some vertical content. And I'm really like, I don't want to say I'm swearing off social media, but man, this thing hitting the back burner. Because I've been up here for years hammering it out. People be like, be consistent. I could show my work where I had posts scheduled multiple times a day for months for the
Mhm.
past few years. You know what I mean? And it ain't hitting. And so I'm like, let me go back and let me make something that I want to make. I don't mind making content. I like making content sometimes because I try to make content that's authentic to me and that's natural and organic to me. But I would rather make a short film. I would rather make a music video. I would rather make a cartoon. I would rather make a video game. I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking I don't want to set up my camera, you know, just to do 30 seconds worth of content that people gonna scroll past and I'm gonna get 150 views. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's got to all be intentional.
right, drop my,
Mhm.
and I got a plan of how I want to release the film and everything. But right now, the film itself is still in writing. The album, I will say, I'm done recording the album, so it's in post production. We doing like mixing, mastering, re-records, arrangements, stuff like that. So that's the album is in the works. The film written around the album, I'm working on. I'm about halfway through writing it.
Hmm.
I done paired up with Concrete Films in Asheboro to help me film it. If anybody else is watching and want to help film, I'm broke. You know what I mean? But if you want to look out, I got services. We could trade services. You know what I mean? I can help you video some stuff. Let's work it out. If not, that's cool. No hard feelings. But I'm definitely trying to do more creative stuff, more stuff that I just like to do, not necessarily what you have to do to
Hmm.
keep the needle moving. Um, I'm still doing shows. Oh, the shows are changing too. Um, Not gonna lie, I'm kind of abandoning my efforts in North Carolina because again, like I've been pushing online for so long, I've been pushing in North Carolina for so long, and really still ain't getting the recognition that I feel like I deserve. Yes, but also that my people are like, bro, you should definitely like somebody should have by now. Like, come on, like at all these people and all these venues and all these platforms and like you not no lazy artist. Like people see you out here. Somebody
Hmm.
should have. So let's just keep it real. Like it just I don't maybe it's me, maybe it's North Carolina, maybe it's the outlets within North Carolina. I don't know. I ain't gonna be no crabs in the barrel dude to sit here and pontificate and be like, oh, it's the scene, blah, blah, blah. It ain't. Maybe it's me. Maybe I ain't good enough for North Carolina. Maybe I don't make North Carolina style music. Maybe the image ain't North Carolinian enough. Maybe it's me. Like, let's keep it real. But whatever it is, it ain't working for North Carolina. So, meanwhile, I went to Maryland last year and it worked. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, I go to New York and it worked. Meanwhile, so I'm like, now instead of doing 30 shows in Greensboro, High Point, Raleigh, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
I got two of them planned for this year. That's one in June, one in August. One in August, one in December. That's gonna be it for North Carolina. That's gonna be at etc. 1333 Grove Street. From now on, 1333 Grove Street is my home stadium, etc. At etc.gso on Instagram right now. That's my home stadium. I ain't gonna be performing at no back table. I ain't gonna be at no artist block. I ain't gonna be at no Flatiron. I ain't gonna be at no White Rabbit. I ain't gonna be at no Hangar 1619. I ain't gonna be at no Pinhook. I ain't gonna be at no Motorco. I'm gonna be at 1333 Grove Street. If you want to see Chris Gristle live, 1333 Grove Street. If you don't want to see Chris Gristle live, you can go ahead and skip this. This ain't for you anyway. But outside of that, I'm working on a pop up in Maryland.
Yeah.
I got a couple um festival applications in, one in Pittsburgh, one in Chicago. Um
Drill down on that for a second. How are you putting in for festivals and things of that nature?
so this is where social media does come in handy. You know what I mean? I don't I get nothing on reach, but I do find cool opportunities. And that's a lot of the reason I'm still up here. It's not even really for the social media. Like people get up here and tee hee and yuck yuck, and I ain't up here for that. If I'm
Yeah.
up there for a long period of time, and I'm scrolling for hours, it's because I'll find something like Tiny Desk right now is doing a contest for artists to submit. You know what I mean? And they got the ad going. submit. It's a free submission. I don't know what it entails once they select you. You know what I mean? You might have to do some traveling or something. But right
Mm-hmm.
now, they just want you to film a video that's like tiny desk style with a desk in it. Maybe you got a band. I don't think you require a band, but it would be better. And you submit it to them. And there's stuff like that all over the country. But then also, I have developed relationships and network with people. I've been doing this for 30 years, bro. You know what I mean? If I hadn't developed no connections at all, it's time to hang it up.
Right.
So I got some people that, hit me up and like, yo, I got this coming up, or somebody got this coming up. Would you be interested? Maybe you could submit. Maybe you should try this. Send them an email. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And so I'll submit. I'll just send them stuff. Um, for example, with the Maryland show, shout out Hood Billy. He's one of my followers on Instagram, and I watch his lives on YouTube. Like, we really
Mm-hmm.
interact. He's definitely one of the homies, but he's in Chicago. No, he's actually, I think, in Danville, Illinois, I believe, somewhere in that area. And he's the one that put me on the show in Maryland. He was like, yo, one of my people in Maryland is doing a cannabis festival, actually in the DMV. But, one of my people in the DMV is doing a cannabis festival. I put your name in, hit him up, see what's up. So I hit him up, talked to him, made it happen. You know what I mean? And that's a lot of the times how that goes. The cannabis festival in Chicago that I'm looking at, same guy. He knows the people that runs that. He been sliding my name in there. So it helps that when you have good people that believe in you and that see the vision and that want to see you progress and want to see you win. That definitely helps.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you got nobody, like, I like to speak to the artists that are starting from zero, just like anybody else, because there's some artists that's looking like, man, I don't got nobody feeding me, opportunities, da 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 da. In that
Right.
case, you got to maximize the doom scroll. You understand? You're going to be on here 6 hours scrolling. Don't let it be for cat memes. Don't let it be for
Right.
50-50 relationship drama. Don't let it be for celebrity gossip or politics. Be up here intentionally trying to find you some opportunities, trying to find you some connections, some people you could talk to, some other artists you can work with, some venues, some transportation. I don't know, like, there's all kinds of people. I met a guy, shout out Nitro Beats. I met a guy on Threads recently. He's an IT guy, and I done started working with him, and he's helping me with like back end stuff on my website, like, making connections on stuff that I struggle with. So like, talk to people, bro. Talk to people. People get online and forget that it's humans behind these numbers, bro. It
Yes.
ain't
Yes.
about
Definitely.
10,000 views. It's about the 10 people that you actually talk to that can put you somewhere, or that you can put somewhere, and y'all can make the connection, Chris Gristle. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's really, like, really my advice. I think that's the same thing I said last time. Like, get out there and network. And that's the other thing. Get off the internet. And I've slacked on this a lot lately. I've been really internet heavy and haven't gotten out a lot. And I've been getting the signs where it's like, you got to get outside. And that's my next piece, when it comes to getting shows and opportunities and stuff, is get outside, man. Ain't nobody coming to knock on your door at home and be like, yo, you trying to perform? Ain't
Exactly.
nobody doing that. Ain't nobody gonna do that,
Exactly.
bro. So you got to leave your house. You might have to go stand at the corner store and pass out some flyers. Shout out Diamond D coming in. But you might have to go pass out some flyers. You might have to go show some love at somebody else's event and talk to them and
Mm-hmm.
dap up some of their people that's there. You might have to go to an event that ain't even necessarily a music event, but it's a chance for you to go and network and talk to people. And also remember, it ain't always about you all the time, especially if you just starting out. You go into this place and you walking in, don't nobody know who you are. Go in there, act accordingly. Like, don't nobody know who you are. Hi, my name is Chris Grizzle. I'm a rapper from da 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 da, and I'm trying to do this. And is there any way that I can help you with what you got going on? Or is there any way that I don't know, do you do these shows often? Can I come back and just show you some love? I don't know, man. It got to be about the people. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think we've lost that. I think that's something. My fault. I'm hooking up my charger. But I think we lost that. I think people got so hung up on the numbers. and it's about 10K this and 30K that and 50K this, and oh, I only got 100 views, but like 100 people, bro, 100 humans, like, and it took me a while to realize this, but that last show I told you, like 100 people in the room.
Yeah.
I was one of them people. Honestly, up until that, I was like, bro, all that 100 people, 100 views versus 100 people in the room, that's just self-placation. Y'all trying to make yourself feel better for sucking. You know what I mean? But I seen it for real now. So now when I
Yeah.
get 100 views, I'm like, yo, even if that's 50 people watching it twice, you know what I mean? Like, it count.
Right.
Because
Them
if you
people,
got
yeah.
them, I've really had 100 people from online be in the room, and it's like, yo, 100 people, you feel like a star. You know what I mean? You feel like you doing something if it's in person. But if it's
Definitely.
online, you feel like you ain't doing nothing. And that's another reason I'm trying to go in person with. That's another reason I'm trying to.
You got to
I
be able
think
to
I've just run
truly
my
translate
course.
those numbers.
Yeah, yeah. And I think honestly, I've just kind of run my course on social media. Like, I'm gonna still be on. Well, I'm gonna still post. I should say I'll still be posting, but I won't actually be on social media. Like, I won't actually be logged in. Like, there are ways to pre-schedule your posts and everything, and respond to comments and all that stuff. So I won't. And actually, I'm even now, I'm usually not actually logged into any of these apps. Like, I'm on Instagram right now because you can't go live without it.
Yeah.
But once we finish this, I'm going to delete the app off of my phone, and I only browse on the browser when I get online at all, when I get on social media at all. And even then, once I'm done with that, I'll log out. So then when I come back on some dopamine addiction stuff, you know what I mean? I got that little barrier to where you got to sign in, and then they ask you the two-factor identification. I don't want to do that. I'm already out of here. For what? For 100 views and some cat videos and some arguments about Spotify, man, I'm cool. Some beef about AI music, man, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Definitely. I think, a lot more of these people need to understand how to use the technology. Don't let the technology use you.
Exactly. People don't like it when I say social media is an ad platform at this point. It's not for
Yeah.
connecting with friends and family. You're not meeting new buddies and pals. You might get you some pen pals up here. You know what I mean? You might get you some long distance relationships up here, but it's fleeting, bro. If you log out right now, and I proved this because I logged out December 31st, and
Hmm.
I was off social media for like 3 weeks, and maybe like 5 people noticed, and they in the room right now. You know what I mean? And so that really put a lot into perspective because we spend all of our days doing this, bro. Coming up with these plans, these strategies, these moves, this content, these videos, post them up, throw them up here. Be consistent. Play the game. Keep doing it. Keep going. Keep pushing. 100 views, 200 views, 70 views, 18 views, 300 views. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Ain't nobody got
Yeah.
paid. You ain't making enough streams to say nothing for real. And everybody's banking on, well, that one kid in Timbuktu dropped his first video and blew up, man. You know how many millions of artists is trying to do it that ain't that
Yeah.
kid in
Yeah.
Timbuktu? Like,
Yeah.
let's be realistic. I'm not, and so I guess again that's another part of Chris Gristle is just getting into the realism. I'm not here for the viral moments. I'm not here for the long shots. I'm not here for a record label. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna grind out my lane, one person by one person. You understand me? If I get a shout out to
Right.
cannabis, Hood Billy, my man, we was just talking about you. Shout out to you, my man. But um, I'm not here for the algorithm or none of that, bro. I'll drop my videos from a distance. I'm gonna pre-schedule them months in advance, like I did for the past few years. And when you get them, you get them. You know what I mean? If you don't get them, you don't get them. I'm still on the fence about whether or not I'm gonna try ads again because that's kind of a crapshoot too. Except it costs money on top of everything. And I mean, for me, I've really switched my mentality and my mindset from 10,000 views and likes to one real person that actually shows up. If I put on an event and you come to that event, you count to me. If you help me put something together for my operation, you count to me. If you click and like and dropping comments, thanks, pen pal. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's like a prison relationship. Like we sending letters back and forth type. You know what I mean?
Right.
Shout out Tara, Brown Sugar. But see, as you can see, like my people are coming into the live stream right now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We're not getting no extra people. We're not getting no new people. We're not getting no fancy people. Even your people ain't showing up for my interview. You know what I mean? So who you think I'm gonna focus on? You think I'm gonna focus on the person that's sitting right here in front of me saying, hey, or you think I'm gonna keep trying to get viral views from somebody that's gonna skip my song after 10 seconds?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. That's where Chris Gristle is at. That's why, and to be honest, all of this combined is why the Fat Boy had to go. You know what I mean? Because it's been years of doing it one way, doing it the way you supposed to do, doing it the way everybody tell you to do. And this is why I do it the way I do it. Shout out my homie Brandon, just popped in. But this why and people look at me crazy like, man, what you mean you ain't gonna post 200 times a day for every song? Because bro, I posted 200 times a day for every song. I got 20 views per post, 13 views on 13 streams on the song. I ain't doing it no more, fam. That whole time I ain't spent no time playing with my son. Whole time dishes in the sink because I ain't doing my chores. Whole time I ain't went outside all week because I'm in here trying to twiddle my thumbs and make Instagram work, man. Nope. And it
Right.
ain't work. So now I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna pick up my one person. I'm gonna pick up my Brandon. I'm gonna pick up my Tara. I'm gonna pick up my Slim. I'm gonna pick up my Diamond. I'm gonna pick up my Hood Billy. I got 10 people in here, popping in and out right now. That's who I'm gonna focus on. That's who I'm gonna rock with. Them my people. My snug life. That's who I'm gonna rock with. You know what I mean? And everybody else, you are welcome to join me. But it ain't no more. It ain't no more begging. It ain't no more asking. It ain't no more sending you no inbox messages for you to ignore or for you to. I will do. I got you. I'll see. Will. I got my
Yeah.
kids that night. I gotta be da 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 da. We gotta blah blah blah. Nah, bruh. If it ain't yes, just don't say nothing to me. If it ain't, I'm with you. I'm down. Let's make this go. Whatever the case may be, just don't say nothing. You don't gotta give me no excuse, cause boy, I had somebody in my inbox earlier. Wow, I'm sorry, I couldn't. Da 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 da. This, that, and the third. But blah, blah, blah. Everything to me is an excuse. You understand?
Right.
There have been times where I have woken up in the car I was sleeping in, crawled out that front seat, went to work 2 jobs, crawled back in that car I was sleeping in, drove an hour away to perform at a dive bar that I was not getting paid, spent my last $10 on gas just to get back and sleep in that same car. I don't want to hear nothing about your kids, your vehicle, your money, your time, your job. If I can do it and not be getting paid for it and not get nothing out of it but cardio and a sweaty shirt and empty pockets, you can pull up. So this is where, and we going right back to Chris Gristle, because Fat would have just been like, no, I understand. No, I get it. Maybe next time. No, man, Chris Gristle is like, listen, you didn't even have to waste your breath, fam. Because this is how I always really felt about it. But you gotta play the game. You gotta be convenient. You gotta be jovial. You gotta be
Yeah.
polite and political. I forgot we on syndicated radio. Exactly, Hood Billy. Exactly. You gotta promote and show up for your people. That's where I'm at. I'm showing up for my people, not the people, not anybody who will listen. My people. And if you want my attention and my energy, you need to become one of my people. Period. Period. That go for everybody. That go for you.
Right.
if we're gonna continue relationships, especially after all these years, if we're gonna continue relationships, we're gonna do it the right way, and the right way is gonna be my way because we done did it everybody else way. I done did it everybody else way. I done did it everybody else way. I done did it everybody else way. The gurus, the platforms, the gatekeepers in North Carolina, the Russes, the LaRussells, the you know, like I've done it everybody else way. I've given everybody else a chance to tell me what I should and should not be doing. And now
Right.
I'm gonna do what I want to do. And if it don't work, the other stuff won't work either. At least now I don't have to be stressing about it. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I think eventually, you find what worked for you. And
Exactly.
I've talked to other artists, you know what I'm saying, and said it before numerous amounts of time. You got to find what your version of success is.
Exactly.
So many of these artists, the vast lion's share of artists. You know what I'm saying? I'm an artist myself, and in addition to doing podcast and radio, you know what I'm saying? The lion's share of artists are working artists.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't out here the all the jewels and all the other stuff you see. That's less than 1%.
Right.
Everybody else got to get it out the mud all day, every
Right.
day. So when
But
you
you
try to,
and it's like you said, you gotta find, especially when you're getting it out the mud. And to be honest, when you're getting it out the mud and you don't have like a big audience, you could really do anything you want to do. You could really do anything you want to do, bro. And I think that's one of my strengths. Like I'm at a point where when I say, yo, I'm gonna do what I want to do, it's not like I got a label that's gonna be like, no, you ain't. You know what I mean? It ain't like I got a management team that's like, oh, nah, you ain't got nothing. No, no, no. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. When I was paying for ads, 100 views. Now I'm gonna do it for free, 100 views. Come on now, you feel me?
mm-hmm.
Like when I was answering every comment, 100 views. Now I'm gonna answer the comments from the people that actually talk to me, that actually are that show up. You know what I mean? And if you don't get a comment, sign up for the email list, buy a piece of merch, come to a show. You feel me? Like that's it's got a participation grade.
Right.
Oh, I don't like that. Good. Move around.
Definitely, definitely. We're coming up on the hour, man. Anybody else you want to shout out or anything else you wanted to kind of cover before we get out of here?
For sure, I want to shout out my people, Grit Gang. We was Fat Camp, but with the change, we done switched over to Grit Gang. I actually let them vote on it. I had some cool names. I know we had like Gristlers and Gristlites. Like we had some cool names for the ecosystem. But everybody done voted Grit Gang. It's still a little early. Like if you don't like Grit Gang and you watching this, the chance to vote is still going on. Check your email for the email that says "but why?" ? And that's where you can get to the poll and vote and try to change it from Grit Gang. But right now, I'm really starting to relabel everything as Grit Gang. So shout out to Grit Gang. Shout out Gristleland. I'm looking at all these logos and stuff in my background. All that stuff gonna have to come down, or I'm gonna have to film somewhere else or something. But yeah, follow me on my other pages, Chris.Gristle, YouTube, Chris.Gristle, Facebook, Chris.Gristle, Instagram, Chris.Gristle, TikTok, Chris.Gristle. It's all the same thing, Chris.Gristle. If you can't spell Gristle, you're not my people. We went to college over here. You know what I mean? But yeah, for now, I'm thefatboy.com. For now, I'm thefatboy.com. That's where you can find music, press, interviews, booking, merch, show tickets. I'm actually doing an internal listening party for my people where we're gonna listen to some of the new album while it's still in the draft phase, so you can get a feel of what I'm working on and what I got coming. Again, this is an exclusive thing, so you need to sign up to my email list if you want to be there. I want to say that's about it, man. Check out my existing music. I'm on Spotify. I don't really use Spotify, but everybody else do. So I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer, iHeartRadio, Tidal, you name it. I'm on it. You feel me? I got CDs for sale. I got a artist special going on right now where I do services and I do like a custom album cover, motion video with that cover, like a promo video, one of the promo videos that show the cover, and then it got a video in the background, and then a matching social media banner. All three of those for $100 for rappers right now. So hit me up for that. That's about it right now. I don't got too much going on right now. I had to holler at me like June. Sometime between June and August is when I plan on jumping back out there. But I got a lot to do before that. A lot to do before
Right.
that. So yeah, and I appreciate you having me on again. You know what I mean? I thank you for giving me the chance to tell my people what's going on with the whole rebrand and the system changes and all that good stuff. Hope I can get everybody up to speed. This probably won't be the last time, y'all. We gonna probably do this a couple times because I know I'm gonna have to. Even I'm still calling myself fat. I spent 15, 20 years calling myself fat boy in my head. Like I literally be like, "Come on, fat, you can do better than that." You know what I mean? So now I gotta stop and be like Chris or Gristle. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is. We gonna rock. I'm rocking with my people. Shout out to everybody that tuned in. Shout out to everybody that might tune in later. If you interested, go to onthefatboy.com or hit the link in my bio. If you follow me on here, you're gonna be left behind when I switch to my other profile. You understand? We not following no more. You either signing up, you buying something, or you going away. You understand? We're not here for the followers and the likes and comments no more. You understand?
Right.
So one more time, shout out Grit Gang, Grit Gang, Grit Gang, Grit Gang. I love y'all. And that's it for me, man.
All right. Of course, we're gonna support everything you're doing. We've been continuing to support everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Um, Definitely looking to network more in the future and collab. I still got a track I owe you. You know, what I'm saying we're gonna try to see if we can get that
Yeah,
on
the
the
toast
documentary.
joint. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try to see if we're gonna. I'm looking at hitting the studio
Did
maybe
I
in a couple
send
months.
I sent the beat, right?
Yeah, I believe you did. Yeah, I
Okay,
still got it
okay,
with him. But
okay.
yeah, we're looking at probably hitting the studio in a couple months and knocking that out and trying to see if we can go ahead and go ahead and figure out
So
how we gonna maximize that on the documentary as well. So
that's what I'm trying to figure out because this is still gonna be under the Fat Boy. Everything I recorded under the Fat Boy is still gonna be the Fat Boy, and then everything I recorded since, is gonna be Chris Gristle. So, um, I might let you release that one on your platform. I'm not releasing nothing else under the Fat Boy. No, I got one more. I'm gonna release this album. This last album is gonna be a joint release on the Fat Boy and Chris Gristle. But after
all
that,
right,
the Fat Boy is really. I was telling people when I was telling them about this, when I was advertising tonight, I was like, I'm really about to archive and abandon the Fat Boy. No uncertain terms, you know what I mean? So you might have to drop that one on your side and just feature me as and then it'll show up on my the Fat Boy page. You know what I mean? We'll
say De
figure it
La
out though.
Soul. De La Soul is dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
No doubt. But I always end this show this way. Nobody knows everything. Everybody knows something. So network, network, network. And with that, definitely we're gonna keep it pushing and we're gonna keep networking.
For
And
sure.
we out.